Ollie is a young man. He moves into a new neighborhood next to this girl, Maddie. And he comes from, I think, a troubled home life, and he's had to grow up a little bit faster than most people his age. So when he starts talking to Maddie, I think it gives him an opportunity to be a teenager again and he gets a fresh start.
Maddie is a girl who has been trapped inside her house her whole life. And she has a huge imagination and has a lot of creativity. And even though her circumstances are unfortunate, it's also turned her into a person who is really kind of joyous and kind of sweet and protected and a little naive. And it's necessary for her to push past that in order for her to realize her full destiny.
And what attracted you to this role? Were you familiar with the book?
I was not familiar with the book. When I received the script, one of the first things that I noticed was that it was based off of a book, which was written by Nicola Yoon, who is a fantastic writer and just very awesome black female creative. And she made the book for her daughter, Penny, who is really adorable and who needed this kind of book, this kind of representation. Nicola said many times that she wanted her daughter to be able to see herself in the book and in the movie. And so that's what really inspired me and caught my attention initially, was that we could have this character who has natural hair and who is black and biracial and be in this relationship with this boy in a way that feels really organic and doesn't feel contrived, but it's something that we haven't actually really been able to see before.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know how I can say it better than that.
I don't know how you can either, so that's fine. That was great. What do you feel really draws these two characters together so immediately?
I think what draws these two characters together is, at first, I think there is a little element of love at first sight, but I also think it's just a lot to do with curiosity. Maddie is a naturally very curious person. She sits at her window, watches the world go by. She's been trapped in her house her entire life. And Ollie is curious about this girl next door who doesn't ever go outside. He just wants to learn more. And so they start communicating through their bedroom windows, and I think once they actually start talking, they realize that they have a lot more in common than they actually thought. And that's when the relationship really starts to flourish.
Flourish.
Bloom?
Bloom. I think Maddie is just really excited to see a boy.
A new person.
Let alone like a cute boy who she could have something in common with. I think she's drawn to his sensitivity and his mysteriousness. Yeah.
It's the long hair.
It's the angsty sad boy hair.
Yeah.
Tucked behind the ears.
And what do you feel is, I think this story has a few themes, but what is the theme of this story?
I think the theme of the story is, well, of course, love, but I think it's about breaking out of confines that you or other people may place on you. Mm-hmm. I think it's about adventure and about bravery and about pushing yourself.
Yeah, I think this story is hugely about breaking boundaries, and literally and metaphorically.
Seriously.
And about the sort of the transformative power that a relationship can have on your life and where that can take you.
And you two have great chemistry on the film. In the film, how was that when you first two got together? When you were both on this project, was that pretty seamless?
It happened pretty naturally. Yeah, it was something we met for the first time, and we kind of looked at each other and like, this can work. I think this will work.
We were like, oh, this is gonna be fun. Okay, thank God. Yeah.
Yeah, it shows. And talk about working with Stella as a director. So what did she bring to the project?
I think Stella brought, one, a really fresh voice and a really fresh point of view. I also think that she brought a great taste for music and visuals and this sort of imaginary world that we create. And yeah, I think that she brought a perspective on dating and romance in this day and age that I think hasn't quite been seen yet.
Yeah, I think Stella created something that we haven't really seen before, and something that feels really fresh and original, and yet really kind of self-referential. Like, it feels like, oh, we've seen these young adult stories and we've seen John Hughes films, but this feels like a modern take on it, and that's really, really special.
Great. And lastly, what do you hope audiences take away from the film when they see it?
I hope that they take away a feeling of levity, a feeling of like having been through this journey with these characters and feeling like that they have, accomplished something. I hope that they take away an appreciation for the other people around them and for being outside.
I hope audiences take away joy, and I hope they take away a new perspective, especially when it comes to seeing interracial relationships in film. I hope they're able to see this diversity and accept it, and maybe not even consciously think about it, but have been affected by seeing it.